Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen out there in internet land. Welcome back to another episode of the Tavern Talk. We got a pretty solid topic that Brandon and I want to talk about with y'all today. We're going to try to keep it short, but God knows we're probably going to run a little bit long. But by the way, real quick before we start, Brandon, say hi to everybody.
So, this is going to be a pretty heavily opinionated Tavern Talk here.
Heavily opinionated. Some bad words might be thrown around, especially at a certain company. But today we're going to talk about the Call of Duty update. The update that was supposed to fix and cure everything because Activision is great and always keeps up with its players' fan base's best interest. Cap. Anyway, so the update's been out for a couple of days and we just want to talk about it and give our opinions on it. Because in some ways, I'm very happy and pleased with the update. In other ways, I'm morbidly disgusted. Morbidly. So we'll start with the elephant in the room. Did they nerf the RPK? No.
No,
they didn't. For a lot of you Warzone players, and this is just my opinion here. I get the sense that a lot of these updates and patches for multiplayer and DMZ all come from Warzone players saying that guns are overpowered. Because honestly, as a guy who plays all three game modes, I can tell you right now, the only place I see an RPK being used is in Warzone, or you pick up ground loot in DMZ. That's it. But they didn't touch the RPK. They touched the attachments. And all you have to do is just pick new attachments and retune them, and guess what? The gun is overpowered still.
Yeah, even the Fennec or the Vector, whatever you want to call it, it's still very good even after the nerfs. I still see people using it.
All they really did is for like SMGs and pistols, they affected the effective damage range as a whole. Because, like, I know, especially with the pistols that I was using, yes, I was using the dual X13s. Get at me. I definitely did notice that even though they're still very effective, depending on the map and the distance and the spatial distance between you and your enemy, but they definitely said, hey, if you're more than 6 feet out, your bullets are going everywhere else but at them.
To be fair, when it comes to, say, the Fennec, you're not gonna try to kill people from like 10 or above feet away, man. Like that is a very close quarters gun, so it still is not that effective because all people use it is very close quarters. So it doesn't really affect it all that much. Because the recoil for long range is probably a little too much, unless you're like one of those crackhead PC players, but still, it's not
or
great
you just
range.
Or you just have really good trigger control, because I've gotten some questionable kills with the Fennec at distance, all because I know when to not press the triggers.
Yeah. So it doesn't really change all that much. The close quarters meta is still the Fennec.
100%. But we also didn't know too much about the weapon balancing that they were going to be doing and implementing. And we'll touch on more on the weapons later. I just wanted to get that one out of the way because I hate the RPK. I hate the fact that COD has turned into you need to have a meta build to be effective to play Call of Duty, when I'm big on the whole, I'm just going to pick up a gun and get good with the gun. So, moving forward, now he's done morphing in and out of existence.
Had to close the door. Family getting a little rowdy.
So just in general, though, I just want to talk about. I want to talk about this one because we did play it. Ashika Island. What is your opinion on Ashika Island when we were playing DMZ?
I do like it, and especially when it comes to DMZ, where I felt like on the regular map, there was not a lot of player engagements. We've had way more engagements with players on Ashika Island than we had in Al-Mazrah, especially since it's so tiny and the main focus is the castle area, so you're bound to run into another player in the castle area. Other than that, I do like the look. I like the layout. I like how small it is. I have not played it on Resurgence because honestly, I could really care less about it. But DMZ wise, I do enjoy it. It's faster paced than Al Mazrah.
Faster paced than Al Mazrah, which incorporates and encourages more combat engagement amongst players and the AI, and that's one of the big changes that was supposed to come out of this update was nerfing the AI's difficulty to essentially deal with, because whether you were playing Warzone or DMZ, it was actually kind of shitty that we were struggling more with the AI than we were with actual players. Brandon remembers this. We were trying to take down a stronghold, and we were struggling. We later on found out that amongst all the chaos of beating that stronghold, we ended up killing a player and had no idea. We had no idea. Next thing I know, when we're about to go like pillage and get our loadout guns, I'm like, wait, what's this backpack on the ground? Nobody else was in there but us. We circumnavigated the entire stronghold, and then all of a sudden there's just a backpack. So somebody entered in behind us and then got killed in the crossfire. So that's what I mean when I say.
I think I remember that exact moment. I think because I recognized the body, because I remember seeing him in the hallway, because it was like 2 Riot Shield AI and like some other rifle wielding ones. But I remember one that stuck out because his skin had like the red coloring, like the red ghost skin. Mm-hmm. I remember him vividly, but I didn't notice it during all that chaos. I just remember chucking us like 2 Semtexes at the Riot Shield, and I think he was a victim of the explosions.
You threw 2 Semtexes, and I threw 2 drill charges, because when you see Riot Shield, unless you have a teammate that's competent and knows how to get behind while the other one distracts, as soon as you see a Riot Shield, you have a Semtex or a drill charge, throw them. Throw all of them. You can get more. That's fine. So this dude suffered at the behest of 4 different explosions in one hallway. No mercy was shown, and I hope he's recovered since then. He's probably scarred forever. They just keep throwing.
This comes out of nowhere. No one noticed until we saw his fucking backpack.
Yeah, all of a sudden I looked down and I was about to go pick up stuff. I'm like, wait, what's this backpack doing here? Wait, hold on. When did AI start carrying backpacks? They don't. Wait, did we kill a player?
Yeah.
Caught the Crossfire, Caught in the Mosh. Great song by Anthrax. How you doing? But that goes back to the point that I was saying of we had more difficulty struggling with the AI than we did the players. And now playing against the AI in DMZ, and I have run Resurgence Island and Warzone now, it is definitely a lot more manageable to deal with the AI. Like, there's still going to be a lot of them, but they don't take nearly as long to kill. They can still do a lot of damage, but they definitely slowed up their process of when they're just going to start pointing and shooting at you. Brandon remembers, especially on like early DMZ life, we would be driving in a car and we both get melted.
Just
like, I'm talking all of our plates are gone. And we're assuming it's players. And knowing us, we're about to hit the brakes and fight back. Because we're not going to take that lying down. As soon as we get out of the car and we point, and we're like, those are AI. We just lost 3 armor plates to AI. Let's get in the car. Fuck these guys. They're not worth our time. It was easier for us to run away from AI than it was for players. Players were like, let's fucking go, daddy. What's banging? Let's get it. So I'm happy that they did nerf the AI, like the AI's difficulty to handle. They're a lot more manageable now. The only time you're really going to face a hard AI is if you're dealing with the Juggernaut and Stronghold, not Strongholds, the Black Site,
or apparently fucking Wilson.
I was about to get to that. The Bomb Maker in Ashika Island, or a roaming Wilson that's protecting the Bomb Maker.
That
which is
little
understandable.
shit was
It's a literal tank.
like the existence of like so much of our grief on the Ashika Island. We trying to like deal with all the AI just constantly spawning, and maybe the random player. Then there's that little Wilson just causing so much grief. I think it even wiped up a squad for us because they ran in front of it and they just got mowed down.
Yeah, we were stalking that squad too. Like we were stalking them, and then next thing we know, we just see them laid down. But we also didn't know about the Wilson at the time. We assumed it was another team. So when we broke into the bomb maker's compound, we see the Wilson, and I believe it was Mikey. He can join us today. Who said they got a Wilson? They got a Wilson. We thought it was player controlled. Turns out the Wilson, in case you didn't know, is a fucking AI. How cool is that, though? We actually faced an AI machine in COD. I can't remember the last time I faced anything like that in Call of Duty, where I'm now facing an AI generated machine.
Black Ops 2.
In a AI. Was it Black Ops 2?
Yeah. I think it was.
Oh yeah, the hunter killer drone.
No, the little fuck, what were they called? I think it was like the AGI or something like that. It was a squishy. It was just like the Wilson. It was just a little drivable little tank thingy with 2 turns on the side of it. Same thing.
Okay, so it's been about 10. Still, it's been about 10 years since that's been a thing. So I thought that was really creative and cool that they incorporated a Wilson, and the best way to deal with it is to shoot out the cameras that are spotting you, giving it cues as to where you are or were, wherever your last location is. I could still be very wrong about that, but
for one, even if that is the case, we don't know yet. But just so you know, even if it's not, that shit will still track you down, hunt you down where it just roams, and as soon as it spots you, it chases you.
Yeah, because I did kind of notice that as I was taking out the cameras around the compound, it wasn't moving or tracking us nearly as easily. Only when we shot at it would it actually fight back. So nice, cool little dynamic that I really dug. And overall, Ashika Island, like Brandon said, I loved everything about it. The aesthetics, the look. It really forced you to engage players more if you saw them, because if you tried to run away, hey, there's AI that's about to deal with you. So now the players that you ran from are about to get a sound cue as to, hey, what the hell's going on here? Brandon at one point did try to grief a guy that was in the middle of extracting, and said guy threw, I think he threw a Molotov at you, or he started shooting at you while flying away.
Yeah, I think yeah.
So just because they're in the chopper doesn't mean you're out of the woods yet. Next thing we know, Brandon's just like, oh god, he's firing. Like he was just leaving, Brandon. Yeah, but overall, Ashika Island gets a check mark of approval from me. I will definitely be playing more DMZ on it. Honestly, I haven't touched. No, I did play DMZ on El Mazra a couple times. I ran solo. Solo's still fucking impossible to do, but again, facing AI, not that bad. I would like them to just incorporate, kind of like how they do with multiplayer, incorporate a solos or a duos or a trio queue. I wouldn't mind playing DMZ solos and going up against other people that are by themselves. Am I going to take that entire team of 3? No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I'm good at COD, not that good at COD.
Honestly, I feel that when it comes to at least El Mazra, I think the player count on the island is fine in DMZ, but I really do think they need to up the player count on El Mazra, because I swear, some games will go a whole match, like we'll go from beginning match to the end of the timer and not run into one player, and it's kind of just boring at that point, because all you're just doing is shooting his AI. That's all you're doing.
Like, I forgot how many people are actually supposed to be in a game of DMZ on El Mazra. It's only 60, if I remember correctly.
That'd be, I think a 60 would be an improvement. I don't think it's even that.
Because I say this because I agree with him. Increase the player count. El Mazra was meant to hold 150 in Warzone, and even then, in a lobby of 150 people on this big ass map, I still find myself doing fuck all. Until about ring 3, I will not have run into anybody. And I know a lot of you guys will say like, "Oh, well, then go to the places that are frequented a lot, like go to Zion Observatory." I'd rather live for 5 seconds. So I'm not complaining that I'm not facing engagement. I'm just simply saying and wanting to point out this map is meant to hold 150 people. I would expect it to be a lot more lively no matter where I landed. Like, no matter where I landed. So that's my only thing with Warzone. I still find Warzone very fun. And I know that they're going to be rolling out more Warzone updates. Like, they're going to nerf the RPK again, right? Right? No.
Please.
They're just going to move on to... They're going to move on to the next gun. Speaking of guns...
I mean, I was about to point this out. The freaking M13 and the new ISO assault rifle are now 2 viable options, apparently.
The Hemlock.
Yeah, that Hemlock is actually really good. I've been seeing clips of people using it and just shredding through teams.
Yeah, the ISO Hemlock is straight out the gate, completely B squared, bare bones. That gun is ridiculous. And then in the battle pass, you got the skin for it, with like I did. The skin itself is just is gnarly. Like, I understand a lot of people have been giving it flack because of its slow fire rate. What I compare it to is the Man of War from Black Ops 3. A slower fire rate, but damn, each of those bullets packs a punch. 2 to the body and you're gone. 2 to the body and you're gone. And you gives me the ability to put on a 45 round magazine. Oh, bud. I already got a couple of quad feeds recorded just using a 30 round magazine. That gun, you can swing it like a pro. You know what you're doing.
I still haven't unlocked it. I can't wait until I do. I want to use it.
Oh yeah, I think that gun is gonna be. I'm not gonna say it'd be a massive problem, but I definitely can see that being a much more viable option in multiplayer. In in Warzone, no.
You know what the fire rate and power reminds me of? Kinda like an ICR. Remember from like Black Ops 4?
Oh yeah, the ICR fired slightly faster, but that thing was straight.
Yeah, slightly faster, and just like this gun, it shoots really straight. That recoil on the Hemlock is pretty manageable.
Pretty manageable, easily predictable, can be caught if you know what you're doing. But then again, we're a couple of controller players. Yes, make fun of us. You mouse and key players are even worse. I saw Timmy Tenders using it while he was playing. Well, I'm not saying while he was playing, but because everybody knows he's a K-band player, keyboard and mouse. There was next to no hop up as he was just firing down a straight line. It was scary. And then going back, you mentioned earlier the M13. The M13 has always been like a viable gun. I just think for some reason they made it even better. Like when we first unlocked it, I was using that shit in multiplayer and I was putting people to the floor.
Well, it wasn't a viable gun. It's just that, sure, it had the range, it had the low recoil, but I think what people weren't using it for was because it didn't have the TTK to back it up. Compared to the other assault rifles, and I even noticed this when I was going for like my polyatomic camos for like assault rifles, I had a harder time getting kills with the M13 than other assault rifles, is because it would require much more hit markers to kill someone.
Understandable. I guess for a lot of people, if the TTK was your problem. Because as soon as I got the sense that this thing is not going to be a distance firing gun unless I build it as such. And for those that know DJ in the slightest, I don't build at all.
Yeah, he doesn't weapon tune. He doesn't do anything with attachments. What he puts on, he just puts on, and that's it.
And at the time, it's whatever. If I buy a skin that has the gun that I want, or vice versa, I basically just take the build that they have and I work myself around it. That's just me though. And again, a lot of times I don't even put attachments on anything. I maxed out the Lockwood in a day, completely bare bones, no attachments on it, not even a sight. I had to get really good at putting shots to head, but you can get good with whatever gun. No, it was completely BB. Completely bare bones. Yeah. It was fun. I think I got a couple of feeds that I can send you to show you, because you learn where a headshot is, and you'll get good with that gun too. But we're not here to talk about the Lockwood. So M13, it's even better now, and I'm here for it. I'm okay with it. But what I want your opinion on, because this thing is about to be a fucking danger in all 3 game modes. Well, mainly Warzone and multiplayer, especially ranked, unless they GA it. The KV broadside.
Well,
the spammable shotgun.
Well, for one, I don't see ranked or competitive using this at all. That section of guns is totally off limits. But when it comes to multiplayer and Warzone, yes, I can see this thing being a big issue, especially since they recently buffed incendiary rounds. Those incendiary rounds now are just a nightmare. I've been seeing a lot more people die to fire than ever before now.
Mikey said it best the other night when we were playing. Mikey does run incendiary rounds, and he's a shotgun user, and even he was just like, how am I getting so many kills after death? And I didn't understand what he was talking about.
Correction, he's a Lockwood and a revolver user, and he was getting hit markers with a Lockwood, but they would die to fire.
That's what it was. Okay. But still, so we'll go through the incendiary rounds first, and then we'll talk about the KV broadside. He was saying how he was getting a lot of kills from the grave, and I was like, there's no way you should be getting kills from the grave if you're just using a Lockwood. And as soon as he said incendiary rounds, not even 2 seconds later, I see him shoot somebody. Their arms and torso go ablaze, and then they just folded right in front of me.
They increased the tick damage, or at least I think it's either that or they increased the time that the burning effect lasts. I don't know which one it was, but it definitely did something to them, and they're a lot better now. And they're supposed to be just anti-vehicle rounds. Now they're just anti-everything.
Now they're just anti.
Like, goddamn.
Like, and that's fine. I know how to maneuver and handle people that are using incendiary rounds. It's like, listen, I'm gonna die a lot in COD. That's gonna happen. I'm sorry if you were like, as much as I can rack up 40 or 50 kills in a game of TDM, I will also die about 40 or 50 times in a game of TDM because I like to run around and do things. Even on maps like Turok, where everybody's just kind of picking a spot and hanging out and not moving or doing anything productive until they see me. Fuck that map. Sorry. Hi, I'm here. I'm sane. But speaking of, no, we'll get onto that. So the KV broadside, because I want to talk about Dome at some point.
The broadside is, I think it's a terror, and I definitely think something needs to be done. I think the pellet damage, especially for the rate of fire, the pellet damage is too much.
It reminds me of the striker from MW3 with a tighter spread. Like, you can spam that trigger and they're all going to go in that direction.
Yeah.
Like, the fact, I said this to the guys before, and I'll tell y'all folks watching at home. The fact that I can watch a streamer, Tim the Tabman, is he a good COD player? Yes. Is he, pro status like Sam and Husk and all them? Absolutely not. But the fact that he was able to ego chow 3 people, no plates, with a ground loop bare bones KV broadside, meaning there was no attachments on this thing whatsoever, and win, says a lot. And it wasn't like kill, reload, take some time, kill, reload, take some time, kill. It was 3 rapid kills back to back to back with 1 magazine.
Yeah, and they all were plated, by the way.
This thing,
yeah,
this thing is fucking nasty.
Like, the magazine size itself is a problem. Not to mention, like, we already have a semi-auto shotgun that in the expedite, and that thing outshines the expedite so much. Like, expedite is useless now compared to this broadside. the spread's tighter. I think the pellet damage is even better, and it shoots faster. So it's like, why would anyone use Expedite in Warzone or DMZ or whatever, unless you're trying to level up in like multiplayer? I can see that being a thing, but the broadside
Wish I
is
had
just so
to.
much better. Yeah, you used it. I used it. You know how terrible that Expedite can be, but it also has its shiny moments, but it's far in between.
But I said this to the guys because I don't know what attachments you can put on the broadside yet. I have no clue. But I remember like stating, if for some reason this thing is compatible with slugs, you have just created a spammable sniper rifle.
I
Like that is what you mean.
I want to find out. I don't have it unlocked. Eventually, I will. But if that's the case and it has slugs, then that's a nightmare. It already has incendiary rounds, and those things already been a terror in like pubs. I don't know how they are
slugs
in Warzone, but I imagine they're just as bad.
Yeah, if it can have slugs, you have a faster firing KSG from Black Ops 2. You know the thing that was cross mapping everybody in Nuketown?
Yeah, I remember because I was one of those people cross mapping others.
I was the one getting cross mapped. And now, speaking of mapped, moving swiftly forward, they brought in a couple of new maps.
Yeah, well,
one of which,
quote unquote, new. We'll throw that out there.
Okay, vintage. We'll say one map is vintage, one map is shitage. Because one map we love very much.
Yeah.
The other map can drown in Lake Loch Ness. Okay. So we'll get the meat and potatoes out of the way. Dome.
Love it. No complaints.
Back. I love it. It is so beautiful. It is so prim and pretty. I love that they gave it a little sunsetty aspect now. Such nostalgia, because for those that know, MW3 is DJ's favorite COD. I love MW3. And that was one of my favorite maps on MW3. That, and then when they brought back Terminal.
Oh yeah,
but
MW3, one of my favorite maps to just snipe on. I loved going for quad feeds or just free for all sniper lobbies on Dome were fun as hell.
The iconic history behind Dome, because for those that know Jev, that's where the birth of Requise came from. That's where we saw in the Catalyst 2, where Pamaj literally threw a C4 charge in the air and then shot it and killed 5 people with it.
Just some iconic
for the old heads. That map is so good. It's so versatile for long shots, for short game, for building play. If you're a riot shielder, you can hold a corner if you really feel compelled to. There's so many ways to play that map out. It's perfect. I love that map, and it will always go down in history to me as one of my favorite maps of all time. Now that I'm done sucking its dick, your turn.
No, same thing. I love it. I have no complaints. I'm glad they brought it into the game. I think the only complaint I have is just the lack of original maps. Don't get me wrong, I love Dome, but we've also played it before, and we already see what their original map in a museum is like. And honestly, I'm not excited for anything original. And at this point, I'd rather them just port remastered versions of all the MW2 maps and call it a day.
Mm-hmm. That's the boat that I'm in right now. Is essentially at this point, I don't know if Call of Duty developers have the ability to make original maps outside of the initial 5 or 6 that go into a core game.
Yeah.
So if they want to remaster maps and bring them in, I won't complain. I would not mind going back to Terminal. If Treyarch can bring back Nuketown every single fucking game, there's no reason as to why we can't see Terminal. Last time we saw Terminal was Infinite Warfare, and we don't talk about that game.
Dark times.
Very dark times. So if they were to like off the top of your head, outside of Terminal, from MWs 1, 2, or 3, what?
High Rise.
Well, damn. There was no hesitation in
no
that.
No hesitation. High rise.
Mine, honestly, I wouldn't mind favela.
It'd be better than border.
True.
Dude,
True.
Dude, I even said this in the beginning. I think I might have said it in the previous Tavern Talk, but fuck border. I'd rather have Piccadilly. And if anyone's played with 2019, that was a map of hot garbage.
Border was good to me for a bunch of clips that I grabbed though. Like one of my best clips in this game took place in that fucking tunnel with an SPR. Yeah, so it has its graces if you're
too, but it's like I still just don't like it.
Like just because a map sucks doesn't mean the map isn't clippable. Remember that. Write that down, okay? The map is horrible, but you can clip. Just saying. Sorry, had to let them know. And now to the red-headed stepchild museum.
I didn't like it in beta. I don't like it now. They didn't change a thing. I don't know why it was even taken out in the first place. Oh yeah, we know why. Because the map is too close to the original place that it's based on. But it's not changed at all, by the way. It's just garbage. It's too big. It's too slow. I don't get it. Outside of like maybe search, I don't like any mode on it. And most maps, I at least have one mode that I can always rely on, and that's hardpoint for any mode, for any map. I mean, and not even hardpoint is fun on this.
Like headquarters, when we played headquarters the other night, was just, I hate to say it, but it was just cancer. Oh my God.
Not to mention, if you are on like a hardpoint or like headquarters and you're the opposite team that doesn't have the objective, you spawn or so far, and when you're on the objective and you die, you spawn far still. The spawns make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
I have to traverse more than half the map to get to the objective that's on the other side of it.
I've tech sprinted 4 times before I was able to actually interact with somebody. But one of my biggest complaints was, especially when we were playing headquarters, because mosh pit. One of the places where the headquarters was going to be was inside this little office room where there's only 2 ways to get to it. I don't have fingers now, so 2 ways to get to it. And the downside is, as long as you have 2, possibly 3 competent people in there, and without fail, every single time when we were, if you know the space I'm talking about, there was somebody in the corner behind a ballistic shield, and they were just picking people off. It was quite literally impossible to get into the room. It was next to impossible, to where as soon as I saw, oh, the headquarters is in there, there's no point in even trying. There's no point in even trying because our flashbangs won't reach the guy in the corner. And then even if we do manage to get inside, that guy has a sight line on us before we can turn. And if he doesn't have a sight line on us and we can actually pick him off, there's a dude behind the opposite room behind that desk, the long one, ready for his trade. That room is next to impossible.
I'm trying to picture what you're trying to talk about, but I can't.
As soon as you would go in there, we would throw flashbangs, and then directly to the right, there was a dude with behind a black ballistic shield.
Was it like a green room with a bunch of displays?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that one. Oh yeah, that room has like 4 entries, but they're easily covered, and especially if you have trophies, it makes it even harder to break in because people will just spam whatever they can in there, but it would be denied by trophies. At that point, best choice was like throwing drill charges on the outside walls where the doors to the outside would be, and then hopefully you can get someone that's like camping on one of the corners or along the side of the wall, whatever. But anywhere else, like towards the double set doors, you would have to gun down. And typically with that deployable shield area, it would be on one of the outside walls, so you could technically drill charge it. You just had to get lucky.
But normally there would be two in there, one with a ballistic shield and one with the trophy system, so they could always cover each other. So getting in there was hard. And then the next one was outside, where you could be jumped down from above, behind, and in front, and they both had the ability to have, like, how do I explain it eloquently? You could be dropped on while still defending yourself from the far north and south quadrants. There's a building walkway above you that people can just jump down from and land behind you or in front of you.
Oh, yeah, the mid-map one, yeah.
And your only cover... and your only cover is that you know how to circumnavigate that pillar and not get hit.
Bro, oh my god, the map is so bad, and it's also doubled by the fact that the hardpoint or headquarter locations are also terrible locations. Some have next to no cover at all. It's just, I don't know.
The one by the fountain.
No. Your cover is the fountain. That's it.
And even then, it's just people standing on the outskirts at the 3 different building entrances, hurling every single throwable they have. Because even if you have a trophy system, that thing I think the trophy system can only stop 4 things before it breaks.
You also forget that to run into the objective, you're basically running in the open, unless you're going from the way back left corner of the map where there's some walls, but even then it's very open, especially towards snipers and people just camping that top balcony area to shoot down on you. And all the other people have to do is just spam nades at one of the crevices in between the fountain, because people typically lay down in that area to watch over the objective. So I just toss nades. I don't know. It's a layout. It's really weird. I don't like it.
Just the map is a fucking mistake. I'd rather play Paris from MW3, where it was just constantly people hiding in that center house and not moving.
That map would be interesting now that we have drill charges.
Mm-hmm. That map will not be played the same.
No, it wouldn't. Nope.
Oh, you're in the kitchen again? Drill.
No tack inserts either.
Speaking of tack inserts,
that's a field upgrade. No one uses it.
Speaking of tack inserts, Infected has made a comeback into this game.
Infected.
I love it.
Oh, Infected's always fun. No matter which COD it is, it's always a good time to go in with some friends and just shoot many players coming at you with a knife.
I've sucked many hours in MW3 playing Infected. It was a very good time every single time.
My only complaint is I feel that even when it's a lot of players left, I think once it hits a certain amount of players, maybe 8 or 10 or however many you can have, when half the lobby is infected, I think they should just get rid of their ability to have throwing knives, because at that point it just becomes too easy.
Mm-hmm. Because now everybody has a throwing knife, and then to boot, especially, and I've already had this happen to me a few times, when you're the very last person on the map, they get a ping. I want to say it's every few seconds to let the horde know where you are.
I think with that one, I think they should have the ping at the last minute, not the last person. Because it could be 4 minutes left, and they'll be pinged, and it's over. They're gonna get swarmed.
And you think this person's gonna last 4 minutes with 17 people that knowing exactly where you are chasing you, and they all have throwing knives upon respawn, and they all are using their tack inserts to get as close to you as possible?
Yeah. No. I mean, shit. We played a game of Mercado, and I was first infected. Because of my access to throwing knives, I only killed 9 people. That's half the lobby with just throwing knives. I didn't kill anyone with a knife. It was all throwing knives.
This was a proud moment for me. I saw him turn into the ghillie suit man, and I just flavor blasted him with an expedite 12 round. Body just ragdoll physics across the map, and I was very happy that I saw it. Yeah, I love Infected. I think Infected is such a fun game mode, and I love the fact that there's a huge fan base of players that are wanting to play it again. It's fucking amazing. And I want them to keep it. Like, you already took away shipment 24/7, and you took it down shoot house 24/7, and this is coming from a guy that hates shipment and shoot house. And even I'm saying, bring back shipment and shoot house. Fuck the mosh pit, dude. Nobody wants to play on that museum map, especially when we get it 5 games in a row just to play one game on Dome.
And they're all different modes too. That's the sad part. They weren't even the same lobbies.
Like, just give us, if you want to, trust me, nobody likes museum. Give us Dome 24/7. I'll play on Dome 24/7. Let's go, dude. Happily say less. I would be so happy to play on Dome for the remainder of my existence. That's my favorite map of all. Again, one of my favorite maps of all time. And I love that motherfucker.
Dude. That's why I feel that we should have the thing like a map filter, but they're not gonna do that because they know that people would cancel out so many maps.
Oh yeah, kind of like in MW2 when as soon as you saw Estate, you'd see the vote to skip number just start rising rapidly because nobody wants to play Estate. Fuck Estate. I hated it in the campaign. I hated multiplayer.
Filter, just bring back map voter, bro. Let us pick the map we want to be on at least.
Give back power to the players is what my man's here is saying.
But that would require them to have lobbies that stayed after each game, which they don't. So what's the point of a map voter?
Oh, so one thing that I did want to bring up that I find funny, especially since we're getting close. Don't you find it funny how, like, not even the entirety of, like, the path of the Ronin is, like, here yet? And, like, we already ran into, like, 20 people that are using the crossbow. Like, isn't that nuts?
I don't know if it's a hack. I don't know if it's a glitch. Probably a glitch knowing this game. But people are already using the crossbow, and it's not even freaking out yet, technically.
It's people breaking in and getting the coding.
Path Ronin's there. Just we don't have the challenges to actually complete the event to unlock the crossbow, but people are already using it.
And and I managed to get 1 kill with it. It's weird to use.
No, I think it felt nice.
I think it's just because I only fired it once and I got lucky with the kill that I got with it. But I was like, I don't feel like I deserved this. But I do appreciate some of the challenges that they are incorporating to start your road of Path of the Ronin to unlock the crossbow. Like, I've never once used Battle Rage. The only field upgrade I've used is a trophy system because I'm that player. And the fact that they made me have to do, and I still have to complete it too, but 50 kills using Battle Rage. So now, especially certain game modes like TDM, I'm like, okay, I had to use this sparingly because I only have a set number of kills that are in the map. And if I only get 1 kill per Battle Rage use, I need to make it count. And then objective defense kills. Listen, if we're playing a game of domination or hardpoint, I'm going to one of said hardpoints and I'm moving in. I live there. I still have to finish that one too, but I'm already up to like 96 kills because, hey, everybody wants to challenge B. Everybody wants to go to B when we're on hydroelectric. So guess where you can find me? Fight me.
Thankfully, I already have the 3 challenges done. But me personally, I actually do enjoy Battle Rage for the simple fact of fast heals. Tacticals like stuns and flashes don't last long. It actually feels a lot faster than a damn battle hardened, I'll tell you that much. And just all around, an infinite attack sprint. I can get aggressive with that thing, and I love being aggressive. So I use it for some classes, not all. Mostly run trophies.
Right, it absolutely is a fantastic field upgrade. Now, my only downside to it is I just don't like the screen collusion of, like, my screen gets slightly blurry and turns red. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, that is annoying.
Gotta get
But
used to this.
okay.
Gotta get used to this. Plus, again, I'm a trophy system user. I like to defend myself because, as he said, battle hardened doesn't work the way people wish it did. Hell, a couple games ago, actually yesterday, I was running when I got home. I tried to walk into a room, got hit with a flashbang, backed up. Took a step forward to go back to the room, flashbang, backed up. Same thing for the third time, flashbang, backed up. It's like, okay, I get it. You can shake it off of maybe a second or two quicker than your standard regular player, but even with battle hardened, you are still stunned or flashed or concussed for such a long time. Like such a long time, it's ridiculous. But I get it. That's the point of a flashbang.
You know what else is gonna flash us, or specifically you guys? We're gonna flash you with a little sponsor from our sponsor, Dubby. We'll be back after this ad read.
Whew. Well, that was fun. Oh. Hey, gamer. Still can't clutch up in Warzone? Still no victory royales? Still maidenless? It's time to change how you play, son. Drink Dubby, the delicious gaming energy supplement that'll help you achieve that epic play of the game. Now head on over to w.gg and use our code NSE for 10% off your total order. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the battlefield.
And we're back. Thank you, Dubby. Again, use code NSC. Now, we lost track of time and is getting close to the end here. We just want to touch up on a few more things, but
sorry, we love COD. We love COD a lot.
We kind of got lost in the sauce. So
sorry.
You haven't touched it, but I have. Let's talk ranked.
That sounded sauce.
Yeah, it did. How about this? I have played ranked, you haven't. From what I've experienced so far, and I actually glad that they did this. Treyarch worked on ranked. Being that they're the best out of all the devs to work on it ranked mode, I'm glad they did. Oh, I'm just saying, bro. Treyarch knows what they're doing when it comes to ranked. The other devs don't know shit. So the fact that they worked on this, thank you. It's an actual proper ranked mode. I think the only downside is that it's not based on performance. It's based on just wins. So even if you do really good in a match and you lose, you're still gonna lose SSR, which is fine. I've played, I think, a total at this point 30 or 40 matches, and being solo, I'll tell you this, it is really hard. Being a solo player is really difficult because I think out of all those matches, I've had maybe 5 that have had actual communicating and competent teammates. And I'll try. I'll have open mic and everything, and I'll be trying, hey, yo, guys, what's up? Hello, anyone there? Anyone got a mic? Nothing. Zilch.
Fuck you and me, my macaroni.
Just zilch. Maybe the one guy, but he will be quiet as shit. He won't say a thing, but at the end of the match, he'll be like, oh, my teammates are garbage. And I'm like, fuck you mean? You weren't talking at all. You were the bottom of the leaderboard. Anyways, but that's
COD though, baby. The bottom of the leaderboard has the loudest mouth.
That's COD. I love it. But shut up.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. I have gone so many matches with just losing. I reached rank, I think bronze 3. But I'm back down to 2 because I have lost like 10 games in a row. Not even to my own competence or incompetence. Some games I'll do bad, some games I'll do really good. But most of the time I am very unobjective. I am slaying out people. I think I average maybe 20 kills at least with a whatever objective time. Because honestly in ranked I am way more objective based because you gotta be or else you're not gonna win. So I would at least be a minute or more of objective time. We'll say for hardpoint, for example, and getting all those kills, you don't win most of the time, especially if you're going against a 4-stack, and you know they're 4-stacks most of the time because either they'll have same name or same clan tag, or they'll all be on a hot streak, and you know that when their rank has like purple or red flames behind it, they're on a winning streak, and they'll all be on a winning streak, and I'm like, oh, they're a 4-stack, cool. I got Timmy 1, Little Timmy 2, and Bob.
You got Bob, Thumbsucker, and Dum Dum.
So I don't know, man. Solo it just sucks. I love it. I still have fun, but playing solo is really difficult because you just run into a lot of 4-stacks. And being in bronze, but they're still putting me at games against gold or up. Definitely, the game is putting performance into consideration, but not when it comes to your ranked, just your elo.
Good. I will say this much: I appreciate and love the fact, because I got into an argument with one of my IRL friends about this. Some of the skins that you can potentially get in ranked that look super bomb, like the dude that's wearing the goggles and the black hoodie and the black pants, and even his white variant. I don't know what rank you have to be to get to unlock them, but I know you have to be pretty damn high and pretty damn good to get them.
Actually, it's just rank 5.
Okay.
I think you get like 10 wins or something to unlock them, so you hit rank 5. Because your rank level in ranked increases with victory, not your SSR. SSR is different, but rank itself is just wins. I don't know how many you need for 5, but it's not that much.
Because we got into an argument about this because he hasn't played it yet. I haven't played it yet. All we know is we read the same thing, and it sounded like you need to be like a certain rank to get there, like iridescent or some shit.
That's 5.
And he started telling me like it's not fair. Why is it ranked players get the ability to have exclusive skins that are exclusive to them? And I said it's not exclusive to them. Just play ranked. Well, I'm not good at ranked. Well, it sucks. You're not gonna get the skin. But I want it.
That's another thing. That's a terrible argument because one, it's not exclusive, and 2, I honestly am glad there's shit you can get only in ranked. That gives you incentive to play the damn mode, unlike previous years where you didn't get shit. So at least there's a reason to play it now.
Mm-hmm. And I told him, dude, just wait 2 months. They're going to create a variant that's available to purchase in store, kind of like how everybody that grinded for Damascus got pissed off that the Chimera got a Damascus skin variant that you could just buy in the store for $10. I did it. But
you're part of the problem.
So yes. So give it time. The thing that you want that is exclusive to ranked players, and again, I hate using the term exclusive. It's not exclusive. You just refuse to play ranked. If you want to step into the realm of where the big boys shoot guns, play ranked. If you don't want to, stick to us plebs. Stick with multiplayer and DMZ. But on that note, we are actually going to start wrapping up here because, as Brandon said, we are going just slightly overboard. Again, we love COD. We want COD to survive and thrive, and this COD is doing. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's filling the need, but it could be so much more. And we need the devs to just take 2 seconds and listen to your fan base, the people that are actually playing. And listen to the whole fan base, not just Warzone players, okay? Us multiplayer kids, we're perfectly fine chilling, and we want to talk to you about what we want to have better.
Multiplayer matters too, damn it.
So come on, dude! Like, just reach out and listen to us. We have opinions too, not just Tim and Clocky. Nothing against you, Cloaksy and Tim the Tap Man. I love you both really. But closing arguments, closing statements from thou, sir. What do you want to say to the folks? What should they know?
Decent season, but I think my biggest complaint is new season, not much content, reused assets, and not much changes in terms of balance at all. So that's it.
That's it?
Yep, just lack of content and lack of balancing. That's it.
Closing statements from me. You need to nerf that shotgun as fast as possible. Nerf the RPK so that way everybody can finally shut the hell up about it. Because that's all I hear is complaining about the RPK. Get rid of museum or make it a lot smaller. Trust me, do what Battlefield did. If it's a conquest map and you want to play TDM on it, make the map a fraction as big. Make some areas not able to be accessed, because I can tell you right now that map would be a lot more fun if it were half the size. I don't know what half you want to use, nor do I care, but make it half the size and that map will be fun. I promise you that. Other than that, I am having a good time with COD. I want to go back and play more Warzone. You will find me on DMZ. You will find me in multiplayer. That's TheDravo. I'm Randy Newman. This has been a Tavern Talk. There's some buns in the comment section down below. I suggest you do whatever the hell you want with them. And we will see you guys on the battlefield.